You're watching a 9 on Your Side at 7 special report, Coming Together.
And welcome back. Now a look at the broader where the Tri-State is right now when it comes to race and where we want to go.
Joining us for this part of the program, Wendell Young, Cincinnati City Council member and a former police officer, of course. Quentin Monroe as well with the Cincinnati Young Ministers Association. Dr. Letitia Bates with the University of Cincinnati, and she works in sociology with a focus on African American studies. In fact, Eddie Hawkins joining us once again, of course, from the previous segment, president of the Sentinels, the Association of African American Cincinnati Police Officers, and WCPO.com reporter Lucy May as well covers race and social issues, racial and social justice issues here for WCPO.com.
We'll start with just a broad question. Do you think that we have a serious race issue here in Cincinnati, here locally?
Well, I think there's a serious race issue throughout this entire country. Cincinnati is still part of the United States, so the answer has to be yes. If one would ask the question, have we made any progress on race relations here in Cincinnati? I think that answer would also be yes. But if one said, are we where we need to be, the answer has to be a resounding no.
What do you think it will take, and how long do you think it will take to get to where we need to be? And what does that look like in your eyes?
It's a very good question, and I have no idea how long it's going to take. What I can tell you is it's extremely frustrating. I've lived here all my life, and Cincinnati has been very good to me, but it doesn't mean we don't have issues here. But there has to be a real willingness to have the difficult conversations in Cincinnati around race. And then after those conversations, the willingness to do something. And so what I find is that sometimes we're willing to talk, but we're not often willing to do much. And so without those two working hand in hand, it's very difficult for me to predict how long it's going to take us to get where we need to be. Smarter people than me have to answer that question. What I can tell you is it's a difficult situation to live in.
Well, Quentin and Eddie, you both are in the community and you're getting reaction from family members who come to your church, and you're meeting people out on the streets, and your officers are meeting people out on the streets. What is your take? Is there a concern? Is it more, are there younger individuals in our community, older members? Where does the issue lie, and what are you seeing?
As it relates to the young people, there is a concern. In 2012, you saw the whole Trayvon Martin incident. After that, Mike Brown, I believe it was 2014. And the thing is now, we're in the social media age. We're seeing all these videos of police brutality, people being killed at the hands of police. And I believe that social media is what helped it to grow, and so people would realize it. At first, I don't think that people were really as interested in discussing it. And so I thank you all for coming together with everyone here to discuss the issue. But I believe young people, we had to kind of force the issue. So we did that by way of marching, by way of social media. We had to do things. And so you deal with, we see certain biases being stopped by the police. And we talked about it in Prospect earlier this week, because many times when you're stopped by the police, all the time there's some officers that are nice to you, and then sometimes they're not nice to you. They don't ask you when you're stopped, do you have a degree? I have a bachelor's degree. They don't ask you, do you have a bachelor's degree? They don't ask you if you're poor. They don't ask you if you're middle class or if you're rich. They ask you for your license or registration. And we want to make sure that when the police stop our young African American men and women, that they treat everyone with respect. We want to make sure that we are respected and that you don't think the worst of us before you get to know us.
Eddie?
What I will tell you is this. I think Mr. Young pretty much emulated exactly what I said earlier. My personal belief is that a lot of individuals don't understand, one, how it is to be an African American officer in America, just period. Just to have to be able to balance, you know, your love and respect for the people in your community that you grew up in. What I will say is, I believe, and I've said this on several occasions, that the work that they put in to trying to make things balanced, and some people get upset when I say this, but I believe my generation got comfortable and quit pushing to make sure that things stayed a certain way, even if that means educating our young on things they need to be more attentive to. Perfect example, Taste of Cincinnati, there's always an issue down there with the young people. As a community, we need to be down there helping the police our children. Make sure your children understand there is a curfew.
Right.
You know.
And I think it's great that you bring up those points that you say a lot of people don't like when you say things like that. That's why we're having this discussion, and we're going to continue that discussion in just 2 minutes. Stay with us. You are watching 9 on Your Side at 7, a special report called Coming Together.